What is your type? One of the most commonly asked questions when it comes to dating and relationships. Most people are able to articulate, at least to some degree, the traits they look for in a partner, like the classically described tall, dark, and handsome, for example. But there is a difference between your type, or the image of your preferred type, and the perfect type. What if I were to tell you that of the four dominant personality types, there is in fact a perfect type, biologically speaking? An imperfect type, I'm not talking about the most attractive, as in physical attraction, despite the fact that the type we will discuss today has many physically attractive traits, or at least many traits that lead to attraction. But physical attraction can be found across all personality types and is relatively subjective. What I'm referring to is the perfect personality type biologically, and therefore instinctually speaking, fundamentally driven by the chemicals in the brain. This video will unpack this topic and present the perfect or most ideal personality type for the most fulfilling long-term intimate relationships. So far on the channel, we've broken down the four dominant behavioral types and explored the hormones in the brain driving the traits that form our personalities. Understanding the dominant personality profiles and identifying our own type has transformative benefits, as it enables us to navigate relationships more effectively and build more long-lasting, meaningful ones in our lives. I urge you to explore the full series, as it lays the foundation for all future content coming at Metology. I've linked the entire series down below. But for today's topic, in terms of personality profiling, we're exploring the question, what is the perfect type biologically speaking? The serotonin-driven introverted blue builder, or testosterone-fueled extroverted red director? Maybe it's the estrogen-engineered introverted green negotiator, or dopamine-charged extroverted yellow explorer. Many will argue that the perfect type doesn't exist, or is at least subjective based on a broad spectrum of personal preferences. I, however, hold a different opinion. The perfect or ideal type is actually pretty well known. We all naturally gravitate to this type. It's characterized and portrayed in countless movies. This type has been placed on a pedestal generation after generation throughout human history, and as a result of thousands of years of evolution, possesses a blend of traits that are primed for the most addictive relationships. This type is both objectively based on observable traits and subconsciously based on an invisible energy, the ideal type for most people. And when you study the psychological and biological drivers that forms this specific type, it becomes more obvious to why I would be asserting that they are the perfect or ideal partner for long-term, intense and fulfilling relationships. Now, the purpose of this video isn't to throw shade on alternative personality types or boost the ego of the one we will discuss today, but rather to highlight that if you pursue or enter into a relationship with this type, know that you're playing a very high stakes game. The bar is set extremely high with these types. Most people don't realize this. If you get dumped or the relationship doesn't materialize at all, there is a reason. Maybe you didn't meet the conscious or subconscious requirements or expectations of such a lover. Or from a compatibility perspective, your personality type clashed in terms of too many differing traits or behaviors. But this video, if nothing else, might help with the why and, at the very least, make you aware of the high stakes game you are playing with such a sought after personality profile and fulfilling lover. As I've made clear throughout this series, no one is 100% one type. We're all a limitless mix of chemicals, genes and experiences that produces our traits and forms our personalities. So it shouldn't be a surprise that the perfect type is a somewhat even combination of two specific colours or personality profiles. The type I'm referring to is a potential match made in heaven, the yellow-green. The perfect mix of estrogen and dopamine, low and high energy, introversion and extroversion, a combination of traits that, objectively speaking, the majority of us will identify with as being highly attractive and largely addictive in a romantic relationship sense. That's if you get the opportunity to form a relationship with one of these types, that is. If you think about what would make the perfect lover, the traits of a yellow-green are both consciously and subconsciously the most attractive. The green traits are largely formed by fetal and pubescent estrogen, and for the yellow it's dopamine that wires the brain and forms the different personality profiles. The combination of a web-thinking, estrogen-engineered and sensation-seeking, dopamine-developed brain forms a hybrid personality type and a unique balance of introversion and extroversion. Think about the infectious personalities of a yellow: energetic, witty, spontaneous, optimistic, original and extremely generous, and have many interests and ideas, making them both extremely appealing partners and friends. Ultimately, yellows are born free, always searching. They want to think outside the box, rock the boat, make waves, dance with danger, keep an open mind and above all, seize the day. They drink life in huge quantities. Highly creative, energetic, social, inspiring, encouraging, enthusiastic, persuasive, flexible, easygoing outgoing and charming people. Risk takers. Yellows or explorers in general are thrill seekers. They're always in search for mental and physical adventure. They are highly adaptable and able to play many roles in social situations. Liberal in their political views, flexible in their personal life, and extremely generous with time, money, and their many ideas. They crave novelty, the search for new experiences, a trait psychologists call novelty seeking or sensation seeking. Although this type may not necessarily enjoy all risks, they will take them in order to experience new, intense and exhilarating adventures. Impulsivity, creative drive, curiosity for knowledge, focused attention, motivated, adaptable individuals. These traits create an energy that all other types crave and become highly attracted, or in many cases, addicted to. Now combine the yellow profile with that of a green. Loyal, harmonious, people-focused, peaceful, virtuous, charitable and authentic, always striving to find the meaning of life and create a better world for everyone around them. With their broad gaze outward and penetrating search within, they achieve great wisdom. Greens are exposed to more estrogen in the womb, which builds more connections to the two halves of the brain. This creates more wiring connecting further brain regions, so fetal estrogen constructs a well-connected brain. This enables the green negotiator's ability to collect and integrate a broad range of information. Estrogen primes the brain to carefully consider from a zoomed-out view. This web-thinking ability allows greens to think holistically and produces a type of synthesizing intelligence. This plays a significant role in their patient, cooperative, loyal, understanding, emotionally intelligent, supportive, helpful and considerate nature. Greens have a great imagination, innate intuition, value deep, intense, fulfilling relationships, and are able to build strong attachments. Their wiring makes them expert relationship builders with unmatched empathy. They are tuned in to the needs and feelings of others. They have the ability to connect intimately, trust and can be trusted, express emotions naturally, have superb awareness, and are generally altruistic people. The traits of a yellow and green combined really do complement well and bring the best out of each other, creating a highly nurturing, intuitive, sensation-seeking energy that again, most people are consciously and subconsciously attracted to. Together they form the perfect type, a pure yellow, raw, physical, creative, adventurous, high-energy, conscious and subconscious attraction, and pure green, possessing the traits to build deep relationship bonds or connections. Their loyal, cooperative, community-building nature and kind, considerate, understanding, and emotionally intelligent approach forms a formidable lover. Together, the web-thinking, synthesizing mind of the green, formed by estrogen, and sensation-seeking, dopamine-developed minds of the yellow, creates an individual primed for fulfilling, adventurous, and intensely intimate and loving relationships. The extroverted, adventurous yellow remains spontaneous, yet the web-thinking green traits makes them equally proficient at emotional intelligence. This type is likely to become more considerate of others in their sensation-seeking adventures, a perfect blend of thoughtfulness and excitement. A yellow-green will ease you into adventure and explore together rather than leaving you in search for it. With strong emotional intelligence and a curious, creative and impulsive mind, yellow-greens are well equipped at handling and attracting all types of people and present or emit the most addictive energy for long-term relationships. Examples like My Sassy Girl, Girl Next Door, The Notebook, When Harry Met Sally, Notting Hill, About Time, Love Rosie and a continuous conveyor belt of chick flicks all continuously celebrate the yellow-green personality type. The movies present these types typically as the hot nice girl or guy because their traits and behaviors are the most appealing, especially in the sense of what we would naturally or typically associate with long-lasting and fulfilling relationships. The movies present the classically most desirable type for a wife or husband and girlfriend or boyfriend in one, the best of both worlds. A more dominant-leaning yellow makes the best girlfriend or boyfriend. This is the excitement, spontaneity, and adventure. The yellow-green combination is the best for a wife or husband or serious relationship as it introduces the harmonious, loyal, and nurturing traits to an already addictive, high-energy, exciting personality type. Again, the perfect ingredients for an intensely fulfilling, intimate relationship. This idea of the best of both worlds is driven by the estrogen and dopamine, the perfect chemistry for a match made in heaven. The estrogen-heavy lower-energy green type somewhat dilutes the more extroverted, wild or extreme traits of a yellow, while simultaneously the high-energy dopamine-fueled yellow enhances the redeeming traits of a green, creating a hybrid personality type, where a green supporter meets yellow inspirer, forming the yellow-green helper. Objectively speaking, when assessing the commonly associated traits of all types, there is no denying that combining the green and yellow forms an incredibly desirable personality. There is great longevity in adventurous, spontaneous, and exciting, extremely loyal, supportive, and nurturing individuals. These are the ingredients for the ultimate partner. Because yellow greens are so desirable, they have many applicants for relationships. So much so that you may never have dated one of these individuals before, but I'm sure you've encountered and even pursued many of them. As mentioned throughout, a yellow green is highly sought after. These types are either off the market very early on as they become married up real quick, so that's out of the dating pool in their early adult life, or on and off the market real fast in between relationships. The potential suitors are forever crossing his or her path, so should you screw up or lack compatibility, the next in line will get their chance with these types. It pays to know this about the yellow-green types, because if you find yourself in a relationship with one, no doubt it will be one of the most fulfilling experiences in your life. Maybe you can use this knowledge to better navigate that relationship and possibly avoid the potential pitfalls that could arise. This again highlights the importance of personality profiling and building an understanding of the different behavioural styles, as it enables us to navigate relationships more effectively and build more long-lasting, meaningful ones in our lives. So that's the perfect type broken down. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Once again, appreciate you tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe if you're finding value in the content, and I'll speak to you again soon.